Here we go for a very special edition of The Underground. It is Ned, joined by J Dog of Hollywood Undead. Jay, how are you, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm going really well, man. Excited, looking forward to chatting to you, man. You're back out on the road at the moment, the Rockzilla Tour, Papa Roach on that one. You got Falling in Reverse, Bad Wolves as well. How's that one going?
It's going really good. It's been a lot of people every night, a lot of tickets sold. Everyone's super happy for the package. It's like it seems like this should have happened a long time ago type thing, where everyone's like, man, most of you bands are my favorite bands. It's crazy to see all you guys under one roof. So it's been going crazy so far.
Yeah, nice, man. And how does it feel for you just being back out on the road in general? Like had that massive downtime with 2020 and the pandemic and all that sort of thing. It's all back to normal in your world now.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of slow. So here's the issue: is like everybody kind of jumped on tour at the same time. So it's very competitive right now. It's like hard to get a tour bus to, like old tour buses that normally wouldn't be on the road are like twice as much money or almost twice as much money. And gas is very expensive to get around anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard. It's like it's a competitive market. And, we're in a recession. So it's like people don't have as much money for tickets. You know what I mean? So it's like people are picking and choosing like what they're doing basically, like what shows they're going to, because everybody's on tour. So it's so competitive. So it's not back to normal. Like normally we'd be touring like 9 months out of the year. We're doing like 4 or 5 months this year because it's just been so competitive with every band out there.
Yeah. No, that's a very interesting way to look at it, man. I was going to ask you, like, how did you guys, like, you did release a bunch of music during that sort of period, but how did you sort of stay sane and keep things rolling during it?
Everybody did something different, like a lot of the dudes in my band, we have like home studios and shit like that.
Yeah.
I've been growing weed for like 10 years. I have like a part owner in like commercial cannabis facilities. So I was busy nonstop. Like I was just growing weed the whole fucking time. So like I never took a break. People are like, yo, that was such a good like vacation COVID. I was like, I fucking work nonstop because I don't work around people most of the time. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I
So
definitely do.
yeah, so I was pretty busy the whole damn time.
Nice, man. Well, tell us about this new album, Hotel California. It was interesting to read that there's a lot of homelessness and whatnot in California, because over here you sort of think of California as like, the place to be sort of thing. Does a lot of that get brushed under the covers?
Yeah, I mean, like California is like considered a paradise type place, and it is. The
Exactly.
weather's beautiful. There's lots of shit to do there, but it's like people don't understand the impact until they go there. They're like, holy fuck, like this is insane. They're like, there's like homeless people everywhere. There's like tent cities they call them. They're like, this is way crazier than I expected. So one of the things we're doing is we're making artwork like backstage. This is our album cover.
Yes.
So we get bored backstage. We just like made a bunch of art pieces like this. We're gonna sign them and sell them and give the money to like homeless shelters and whatnot, because it's drawing awareness to the situation. I feel is more important than not talking about it. A lot of people like, well, don't talk about that, don't bring that up. I'm like, why can't I talk about what I'm seeing? They're like, it's distasteful. I'm like, if you told like David Bowie to fucking censor himself, or Elton John, you wouldn't have art. When artists start like censoring themselves, then like that shit's dangerous to me. That's when you got like old communism in place. So I, against popular judgment, I was like, we're gonna call it this and we're gonna run with it. And like a lot of people, like managers, label, like, you shouldn't do it, and I was like, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want. I didn't start a band to fucking listen to guys in suits tell me what to do.
I love that right there, Jay, because people in your position really do need to shine a spotlight on it, because, like I said, over here, you just think it's all sort of, the paradise state and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's amazing. It's just there's a lot of problems going on underneath the curtains that nobody really sees or talks about. There's some crazy shit going on in California. I mean, the seen on the news a lot. There's some wild shit going on in California. So I feel like the whole state's falling apart. It's the government. They're taking a lot of money from everyone, and I don't know what the fuck they're doing with it.
Yeah, well, there you go, man. And changing things back up onto the video side of things here, Jay. City of the Dead video. I love the Beetlejuice sort of inspired thing there. How much fun was that to record?
It was fun. I was on a copious amounts of mind altering substances. So I was just I don't know, it was fun, but I was pretty lit. So it was like 3 days of fucking getting blackout drunk and whatever else I was doing. So I kind of don't remember the video. I just remember having fun, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, you sort of just record it then. Oh, that's what I did. Was it a case of that?
Yeah, I was like, okay, so like I remember laying on the ground halfway through because I was tired, but I was like, but I managed to stand up through the whole thing, so that's good.
That's an
Yeah,
added bonus. Do
yeah.
you have any more like that from the album coming up, Jay?
No, we haven't. So we did that video. Right now, we got no other videos, lined up. It's hard on tour to shoot music videos, obviously, and it's like
Yeah.
shit's the world's in a weird place. Like with the inflation going on right now, it's like it's hard to do anything. It's hard to get like to rent equipment. It's hard to book studios. Like the world's trying to catch up from COVID, but everything's so expensive at the same time. And since
Yeah.
everyone's doing the same thing at the same time, everything's booked, so things are like more expensive plus inflation. So if you want to shoot a video, let's say you could have done a video for like 10 grand, now it's going to cost you 20. It's like it's kind of nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy right there, man. Oh, I suppose, man. I was reading. I'm going to change things up a little bit here to you, and like
Yeah.
we're talking about the how different it is now in the world. I was reading that your dad wanted you to be a truck driver. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, like I think any parents, when you're like, yo, I want to be a musician, they're kind of like, yo, that's cute, but what are you really gonna do to make money? And for me, I was like, I don't like driving personally. I didn't get a car until I was like fucking 25 or some shit or
Oh, there
27.
you go.
I was like, I'm not gonna be a driver. I fucking hate driving. So I was like, if I'm not in a band, like, I don't know, I'm not gonna be on this planet much longer. I was like, that's the only thing I want to do. So for me, it was like being a band or God knows what, because I was not gonna do something I hated. There
So,
was no plan B.
because I was about to ask you, man, what was Plan B? You don't get in a band. What do you think you'd do? You wouldn't take up truck driving?
No, well now I would grow weed because I started doing that after the band. But now I love that shit. I spend more time doing that than I do in the band. But I didn't have that before.
Yeah, quite a bit of money in it too. I read.
There was. Now it's like the legal market's not. The government taxes the fuck out of you. You pay taxes when you're doing it legally. There's not a lot of money, and I'm doing it legally now because I'm trying to like build a brand. You can't build a brand per se on the black market. That's when the feds will come after you and shit. So I'm like, I don't want to ruin my music career, so I'm trying to like play it smart. And there's not a lot of money when you're like fucking doing it right.
Oh, there you go, man. No, I appreciate the honesty on that, man. And you guys were
Yeah,
out here in 2015, I think it was. I did catch you live. We were
yeah.
talking about all the craziness in the world, like with it going up in skyrocketing in prices and whatnot. Is there any talk of Hollywood Undead despite all this coming back out here?
There is. I mean, I was just talking about it. I got a friend out there. She works at some place called Garage Inc. Her name's Peyton. I want to get tattooed, but there's a lot of amazing tattoo artists in Australia. I'm like dying to get tattooed there. And
Yeah.
there was talks. I mean, I was like, this is way too. I'm only speaking out of my ass. This isn't like official, but our managers were like, maybe you, Motionless and White, and Pierce the Veil should do an Australian tour. I was like, oh, that sounds fucking awesome. I just don't know. Like, it's like they'll throw shit out there. I don't know if that was a real idea, but we would love to go back. It's more like, is the demand there? It's like we can't afford to just go there and like lose money. Basically, it's like people want us to be there, and like we need a good tour package. We need to like probably open for other bands that are more established there, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Actually, Motionless in White were only here like a month or two ago, so I'm not sure if they'll be heading back anytime soon. But that does sound awesome to me, man. What did you have much downtime when you were out here? Did you catch any of the local scene or anything like that?
Yeah, it was fucking awesome. Well, I think what was it called? Soundwave? Was that the festival they had there?
Yeah,
So that was cool because we got to go see shows every night from other bands. They play like local shows at smaller like music clubs. I saw a lot every city. I went to an opera or a show at the Sydney Opera House. I was
really.
like, I drank a bottle of wine outside. I was fucking like pissed drunk, and like halfway through the opera, I was like, dude, I got to piss so bad. I was like, I just drank a whole bottle of wine like on the street. So I got up to piss, and like everyone like looked at me, and they were like hissing at me, going like, "Sss, sss," and like the ushers ran up to me like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, where's the bathroom?" They're like, "Oh no." I was like, "What?" It's like, do you need us to call like an ambulance? I was like, what are you talking about? So like, you don't get up in the middle of an opera. I was like, are you serious? Not even to use the bathroom? They're like, no. So like, that's extremely disrespectful. And like, the people on stage singing like looked up at me like I was fucking crazy. And I was like, damn, like everyone was hissing at me. It was pretty bad. So after the bathroom, I just left the opera house. I was like, there's no way I'm going back in there. Like,
Man, I've got to say, J-Dog, that is one of the greatest stories I've ever heard. Having never gone to an opera show, I didn't even know that was a thing. So it's
well,
extremely disrespectful to get up during it.
yeah, I mean, that's what I gather. We were just walking around drinking, me and Funny Man and my band. We're like on top of a hill in front of the opera house. He's like, let's go in there. I was like, what are you, fucking crazy? So let's go see an opera. And I was like, all right, fuck it, let's go. And then halfway through, I got up and they were literally like about to call an ambulance. They thought I was having a heart attack because you just do not get up in the middle of an opera.
Oh, man. Oh, love that right there. Well, I've got you. I won't hold you up for much longer because I know you're a busy man, but you're sort of from my age bracket and sort of thing, like the Beetlejuice era, that sort of thing. What sort of other movies and things did you grow up on, J-Dog?
Let me think. Let me think of like some good shit. This is a great movie that people should check out. Falling Down with Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
That was filmed in L.A. and that's like where I grew up. Like I was a kid when that shit like took place in the movie, and
Yeah.
no one's heard of that movie. Like, you know, younger generations and like, what's that? Like, dude, Falling Down with Michael Douglas. That shit's amazing. But shit, man, I'm getting older now, so like when I think of like cartoons and shit, like I used to watch like Eureka's Castle, like fucking Rugrats and shit like that. Now
Yeah, same.
kids are like, you didn't watch SpongeBob? I was like, nah, I'm a little too old for that shit. Like, but
Yeah.
you know, I see stuff now. It's crazy because we talk about this all the time. What kids watch now, I'm like, what the fuck is this garbage? And I'm sure my parents did the same thing. Like, but
Yeah.
I heard they're gonna remake Beetlejuice. I kind of hope they don't.
Yeah, well, it seems to be the fashion at the moment, doesn't it? It's like they're running out of ideas. They're remaking all the old classics, I guess.
Well, studios are scared. That's like a tap because they know they're gonna make money. They're scared to make new scripts because if they remake an old one, they know they're gonna make money. So that's just like what they're doing, and that's like fucking pussy shit to me. It's like, you know, everyone's scared to do anything these days. They just do whatever's safe. I'm like tired of that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. Well, I really appreciate you taking time out, man, because you are on the road, super busy. The album's called Hotel California. It's out August 12th, which is next Friday. Thank you so much, J-Dog. Really appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Ned. Thank you, man.